The top 5 most iconic missions within the Call of Duty Modern Warfare series. Number 5. The 5th most iconic mission in Modern Warfare, we have the mission Dust to Dust, which is the very last mission of Modern Warfare 3, where you finally kill Makarov, the antagonist of basically the first 3 Modern Warfare games. This mission starts off with you, Captain Price, and Yuri in a Juggernaut suit, forcing your way into the place where Makarov is hiding. And this first sequence alone is just so cool. You have this suit which pretty much lets you face anyone, alongside this epic music which really sets the tone of this final mission.
We've got their attention. Second wave of responders will be coming in any moment.
Along the way the whole building is getting blown up and you see Yuri getting heavily wounded, forcing you to leave him behind to chase down Makarov. In the end, you jump on the helicopter where Makarov is in as it's about to fly away. You take out the 2 pilots and manage to crash the helicopter back onto the roof, which is pretty epic. And then Makarov emerges and is about to kill you, but then Yuri heroically stops him just in time, only to be then killed himself. And then the final fight begins. It ends with you, Captain Price, sitting back looking at how Makarov hangs there, which is pretty gruesome, and you know it is finally over. A subtle hint to the original Modern Warfare soundtrack can be heard in the music. Captain Price lights up his cigar and it ends there. Soap is dead, Ghost is dead, Gas is dead, Yuri and Roach are dead, everybody's gone except for Captain Price. And just like that, the end of an era. But then fast forward 8 years later and we have a Modern Warfare reboot, and this new Call of Duty has a very good campaign, as I said many times before. The story is kind of bland, but the missions are very cool, and one of them rises above the rest in terms of, just how cool and iconic it is. So number 4 on the list, the mission Clean House from this year's Modern Warfare, and out of all missions from this year's campaign, Clean House is considered to be the best and in my opinion the most iconic by a long shot. Because what makes this mission great is not the over-the-top action or cool action music or stuff like that, but rather the absence of those things. You are only left with this very realistic setting and what I consider to be the most immersive mission in COD history, let alone in the Modern Warfare series. I mean, just listen to the sounds.
Bravo 6, moving to the first floor.
And even though this is the shortest mission in the whole single player campaign, it has the most impact and it is also the most true to life. At least that's how it feels. I wouldn't know for sure because guess what, I'm just a YouTuber and not a counter-terrorist organization. But if I would have to guess, I don't think there is a game out there that nails this grounded, immersive feeling of a house raid in the middle of the night in London. I mean, the way lighting works in this game and in this mission in particular is also stellar. You need the night vision goggles and that alone gives you this feeling of a predator that's about to take down its prey. Of course, another part of this mission is to make split-second decisions, and that may result sometimes in killing a non-combatant, or if you choose not to shoot someone, they very well may be dangerous after all.
Down, get down, get down!
Don't shoot! Don't shoot, please! They were going to kill
Don't
me!
move!
They
Stop!
locked me in here!
Drop her.
Stop!
Clear.
For these reasons, I feel like it deserves the number 4 spot on the list, and this mission will stay with me for a very long time. Coming on to the number 3 spot, it is Death from Above from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I'm pretty sure that everybody knows this mission. The original Modern Warfare had so many groundbreaking moments for a first-person shooter game, like this mission right here, where you take control of an AC-130 gunner and you need to provide danger close support to your team down below. The team of Price, Gas and Soap, you know, the squad you controlled in the previous mission, which is pretty cool. I don't know, this whole sequence of events flows so well, and I think that's a big reason why I love the original Modern Warfare campaign so much. But anyway, back to the mission, Death from Above. As the name suggests, you literally rain down hell from above, from the AC-130. And this mission is unique in the sense that you don't have to worry about enemy gunfire, you just have to provide support. But the experience in itself is just so cool, and back in 2007 it was pretty much never seen before in a video game. The black and white thermal vision that you normally only saw on those live leak videos, the radio chatter which added this extra layer of immersion, it was all just so cool, and of course it was super satisfying to blow up a bunch of enemies. It definitely deserves the number 3 spot. Moving on to the number 2 spot on the list, the second most iconic mission in the Modern Warfare series, and to be honest in the whole Call of Duty franchise. You've probably heard this little phrase right here.
Remember, no Russian.
I think even your mom knows it by now. This phrase obviously belongs to the mission called No Russian from Modern Warfare 2. Back in 2009, this was a big deal. Everybody was talking about it, you know, has Call of Duty gone too far? For the people who don't know what I'm talking about, No Russian is a mission where you go undercover as Makarov's ally, and your goal for this mission is to basically wreak havoc in an airport in Moscow. This stirred up so much controversy 10 years ago that you even had a warning before playing this mission. And this is basically how the mission starts. An elevator opens and you basically just shoot a bunch of innocent people and pretty much start World War III between the United States and Russia. And it's funny now that looking back, you know, 10 years ago when I played this for the first time, I remember thinking this was crazy, but I wasn't really shocked or anything. For me it was just a video game. And I mean, it still is obviously, but now 10 years later, you know, I'm literally a decade older now. And in those 10 years a lot of things happened in the real world that make me look back on this mission with kind of a different perspective. It's kind of weird, and you know what would be really interesting? If you guys would boot up this game again, you know, on the PlayStation 3 or on the Xbox 360, play this mission and then come back to this video and tell me in the comments down below what your experience was this time around. Anyway, before we move on to the number 1 most iconic mission in the Modern Warfare series and also in COD history, I want to show some honorable mentions. These are some of the most iconic moments in the Modern Warfare series, so this is not about the missions themselves, but rather only these crazy moments. Take a look. General Shepard betrays 141 and kills you and Ghost. This is the moment where grown men cried.
Good. That's one less loose end.
The second honorable mention is Sweet Justice. You throwing a throwing knife into Shepard's eye right before he's about to finish Captain Price. Another iconic moment is again a sad one. Soap's death. This is iconic for multiple reasons. Firstly, this is the end of Soap, the character that you played as in Modern Warfare 1 and been with through Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. But it's also iconic because of Billy Murray's great voice acting. It really makes this scene incredible and of course sad.
Get a medic! Come on, stay with me, son. Nice.
Back it off. Nose. Booty.
Oh no, 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 no! So! No, no, no! Nice! So! You have to go now! Get off me! I'm sorry.
The opening of the mission Cliffhanger, which is the first mission of Modern Warfare 2, one of the best games ever made. Right off the bat you could tell that this game would redefine first-person shooters forever. You can see Soap in third person for the first time, you hear his voice for the first time, you know, right off the bat you get introduced to new game mechanics, you have the ACR suppressed and a heartbeat sensor, which was very new and very cool back in the day. You know, just an iconic opening to this game. I also want to mention this scene right here from the original Modern Warfare, because this is basically the predecessor to the Clean House mission of this year's Call of Duty.
Виктор, электричество погасло.
These night vision goggles make it too easy.
I think Piccadilly and Hometown should also be two honorable mentions on this list. Piccadilly because they kind of wanted to replicate the shock factor that we had with No Russian in Modern Warfare 2. It didn't really have the same effect, but it was still a crazy mission because it's basically a terrorist attack in the heart of London. And Hometown because in my opinion that actually does have a decent shock value, which they went for obviously. Imagine being a little girl trapped under some rubble because the building you're in got bombed, and when you look to your right you see your mother dead. Yeah, not so pleasant. Another awesome moment again in Modern Warfare 2 is when the Russians detonated an EMP over Washington and you get a look from space. This is just so freaking cool. I love this scene so much right here.
Come in, Sat-1. This is ISS Control. Houston's requesting a feed from your helmet cam, over. Houston, this is ISS Control. Any word on the...
And then when you are back on the ground, all aerial vehicles come crashing down and it's just so cool. Now there are many more awesome and iconic moments that I should mention, like this, and this, but for the sake of the video, let's just get to the number one spot. The number one most iconic mission in Call of Duty and therefore Modern Warfare history is without a doubt All Gillied Up. This mission changed so much for the first-person shooter genre and actually the gaming industry as a whole. I recently watched GameBrain's video about the making of All Gillied Up, and you should too by the way, it's a great video, and I had so much more respect for this mission and I instantly wanted to play it again because for me, even if it wasn't groundbreaking, this is my type of mission. You know, this type of setting, you know, this environment with ghillie suits on a two-man sniper mission, sneaking past enemy lines, it doesn't get much cooler than that. And the soundtrack alone adds so much to this level. You have this kind of lonely vibe to it, and the fact that you get to play as Captain Price under the command of Captain Macmillan, who did a great job when it comes to voice acting by the way, it's just so cool. And the first time I played through this moment right here.
Get down now. Lad, there's too many of them. Let them go. Keep a low profile and hold your fire.
My heart just stopped. This was and still is So cool and tense, and yeah, this mission is just too awesome. It's regarded to be one of the best missions in first-person shooter history, and is also therefore my #1 pick for the most iconic Modern Warfare mission. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, let me know down below if you agree with this list and if I missed any other cool moments in the Modern Warfare campaign. And with that being said, I see you guys next time.